I thought I knew my wife, Amanda. We had been married for over a decade, shared a home, raised 2 children, and built a life together. I trusted her completely, or at least I thought I did. But one evening, she dropped a bomb that left me speechless. Amanda told me she wanted to bring her affair partner, Mark, into our home. She asked me to accept it, claiming it would make her happy and fulfilled. For a moment, I couldn't process what I was hearing. My brain froze, my chest tightened, and my mind raced through every possible reaction. Did she really just ask me to let another man live under the same roof? The audacity, the betrayal, it was more than I could comprehend. I sat quietly, pretending to consider it, though inside a storm of anger and disbelief brewed. I decided not to react impulsively. I let her speak, let her explain her reasoning, and pretended to consider her request. She believed I was naive enough to entertain the idea that I would somehow comply with her outrageous demand. But the truth was, I had no intention of allowing this intrusion into our lives. I wanted to make her understand the consequences of her actions, and I wanted them to be unforgettable. That night, I began documenting everything. Messages between Amanda and Mark, evidence of their affair, and all the lies she had told over the months were saved carefully. I collected proof that would be undeniable, not just for my own clarity, but for the eventual reckoning that would follow. Every detail mattered: timestamps, locations, and the countless times she had deceived me. The next day, I calmly pretended to be agreeable, all while plotting my response. I knew she would try to push for her fantasy of an open household, but I had a much bigger plan. I began reaching out discreetly to her closest friends and family, sharing the evidence of her affair. I wasn't seeking gossip. I was ensuring that the people who mattered most would know the truth when the time came. The perfect moment arrived during a family gathering we had organized. Friends and relatives were present, including some who had always supported Amanda. I casually brought up her special friend, asking her to explain recent strange behaviors. When she began to protest, I projected the evidence: messages, photos, and correspondence that revealed the full extent of her betrayal. The room fell silent. Amanda's face drained of color. Shock, disbelief, and shame washed over her as everyone realized the depth of her deception. Her pleas and explanations fell flat. The proof was overwhelming and undeniable. Her audacious request to have her affair partner move in had backfired spectacularly, leaving her humiliated in front of friends and family. After that evening, I took further steps to reclaim control. I filed for divorce, ensuring that custody of the children and financial matters were settled in a way that protected them and me. Amanda's attempts to explain or justify her actions were met with legal and social consequences. She had gambled with trust, loyalty, and relationships she had long taken for granted, and she lost. I also distanced myself completely from her emotionally. I stopped responding to her manipulative calls and messages, removed her influence from my daily life, and focused entirely on the well-being of my children. Stability, love, and routine became my priorities, and I refused to let her betrayal disturb that foundation. In the weeks that followed, I reflected on the lesson I had learned. Betrayal is audacious, but so can be the response. By pretending to consider her outrageous request, documenting every deceit, and exposing her in a controlled and public way, I ensured that she faced the full consequences of her actions. My calm, calculated approach delivered justice far more effectively than impulsive anger ever could. Amanda's request to bring her affair partner into our home became the catalyst for the downfall of her own credibility. She'd hoped to manipulate me and continue her deception openly, but instead she was exposed, humiliated, and left to confront the consequences of her choices alone. I reclaimed my dignity, protected my children, and rebuilt a life founded on honesty and stability. In the end, the audacity of her request became her undoing. I didn't just refuse. It was the trigger that allowed me to take control, enforce accountability, and deliver a response that was deliberate, unforgettable, and complete.